Hi there, Victor Pross speaking to you, anarchist artist. All right, regarding my debate with Matt Berkowitz, of the Zeitgeist movement here in Vancouver, the video has been published. Just to let you all know that, I think I'll be able to link the actual video, which is on the official Zeitgeist site, to this recording here, so you can listen to that. It's the audio is quite terrible, but I understand that that it will be transcribed. So rest assured. But anyway, of course, it's so far it's been enormously successful. It's in regards to the listenership, the hits. Just I think it was only published maybe 2 days ago, and I think we're talking around 3,000 or more, much more than 3,000 hits right now. So quite a lot of discussion taking place, and I've been roundly criticized, as you can imagine, and I guess the same would go for Matt Berkowitz as well. But just dealing with some of the criticisms that have been hurled at me, and one in particular as advanced by a young man by the name of Thomas A. Anderson, a very dyed-in-the-wool RBE advocate, and he recorded a video critiquing the overall debate with me as the focus of his critique. And regarding that, just to give you a little swipe from him himself on one of the issues that he addresses here. And we'll just I'll put that on right now.
When you have physical freedom, you have prosperity. I found that sentence really fascinating when watching this debate between Matt Berkowitz of the Zeitgeist movement and Victor Pross, who represented free market, anarchism, capitalism, whatever. And this sentence, when you have physical freedom, you have prosperity, was uttered by Victor at some point. And well, it was basically his culmination of well, at least his opening statement, and in the end, I think of everything he was trying to say was, as long as people have physical freedom, as long as the non-aggression principle is upheld and is respected in every way, there is prosperity, like automatically.
Okay, there you go. So long as NAP, the non-aggression principle, is observed, automatically, you see, that will bring human prosperity. This is apparently my stance on the issue, that the gist of my argument. Okay, Thomas Anderson's critique of the debate was most interesting, to say the least. It's a shame that Mr. Anderson fails to fully grasp my argument, and the reason why I would emphasize greatly the non-aggression principle of freedom, and regarding its correlation to the degree of a society's prosperity. He begins by a basic oversimplification and error, actually, that my entire stance equals something like this: freedom, absent of physical force, equals prosperity. It's not that simple, and that's not how I presented my case regarding this matter. Okay, let's just start again. Okay, first, a basic definition of capitalism, which I was making a case for. Capitalism is based on the recognition of individual rights, including property rights, in which all property is privately owned. That is a basic definition of capitalism. Now, the principle of individual rights is the recognition of the fact that each person is morally an end in himself, not a means to the ends of others. Therefore, he morally must be left free to act on his own judgment for his own sake, so long as he does not violate the same right of others. Now, in order to sustain his life, every living species has to follow a certain course of action according to its nature. the action required to sustain human life is primarily intellectual. Everything a human being needs has to be produced by his mind and produced by his effort. That is the origin of how we survive as a species. That is the root of our survival and flourishing as a species. Going to the root. Now, as I made clear in my opening statement, production is the application of reason to the problem of survival. Let me repeat that. Production is the application of reason to the problem of survival. So let me make that clear. You can see here the emphasis here is reason. And from this I merely stress the necessary conditions for which best serves the human capacity to reason, which is, of course, freedom. And I defined what freedom means very clearly in my opening statement. Freedom is the fundamental requirement of a human being's reasoning mind. And yes, and I really do maintain my case. All of mankind's history is the practical demonstration of a basic principle. The degree of human prosperity, achievement, and progress is a direct function and corollary of the degree of physical freedom. Now, in saying this, I don't mean that we just stand inert and like statues with no thought or actions on our part. So long as we're free, we just have to stand there inert. Of course not. Life is thought and action. Freedom from physical force is an absolute condition for the flourishing of human reasoning, of which we have to act on, which is the root of all the wealth and prosperity the world has ever known. In order to survive, man has to discover and produce everything he needs, which means that he has to alter his background and adapt it to his needs. Nature has not equipped him for adapting himself to his background in the manner of animals. So from the most primitive cultures to the most advanced civilizations, man has had to manufacture things. His well-being depends on his success at production. And without machines and technology, we can survive, sure, but the task of mere survival is a terrible mind and body wrecking ordeal. In quote-unquote nature, the struggle for food, clothing, shelter consumes all of a man's energy and his spirit. If we do not use our mind, we face a losing struggle, and the winner is any flood, earthquake, or swarm of locusts. And to work only for the bare necessities is a luxury that mankind cannot afford. And so my basic criticisms, which I can't get in here too deeply, but a basic criticism that I have against a resource-based economy model is that it's all about distribution. Okay, that's the great emphasis, distribution, as is the case with socialism, by the way, and not so much on production. You have to. It's completely downplayed the role of the means of production and what the necessary conditions of what makes production possible. It's the approach. It's as if the goods are just here, given for one and all. Just pluck an industrial civilization like an apple off a tree. The goods are here. There, we don't have to question how they got here. Just how to allocate that. That's all we have to worry about. You see. So it's just a matter of divvying up. You see. If this is the idea, if this ideology ever took root, it would mean mass starvation and death. Victor Prost signing out, anarchist artist. Thank you for listening.